Okay, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show, and welcome to another relationship advice. Advice. What am I saying? Relationship advice quarantine episode because that's. I already know I'm gonna read something about the coronavirus in one of these stories and things, so I'm just waiting for it. Oh, this one. I feel like now it ain't even really about like boyfriend, girlfriend, or wife and husband situations. Like they just going like with the whole family and stuff. And if you can have a relationship with anybody, they're all like they're all like we're just talking about everybody this time. It's like I don't know, maybe this person's all like they don't want to talk about the coronavirus, so they just say something else. But anyways, this one's kind of crazy. My little brother has a gun. That and he's 16 years old. Yeah, that's wild. I don't even know what to do. Like, I definitely would talk to him about it. Like, that's where it's somewhere it's like, we gotta like talk about like the safety and all that stuff around us. Like, it's safety first, but I feel like that's just being a little bit too safe. And you can't bring this to school because if you do, then like I look, there was a time when I was in school. There's this kid that I knew. I wasn't really friends with them. I just seen him around. Might say like what's up with them a couple of times and things, but anyways, so he had brought a gun to school, showing it off to everybody and things, and then this girl had seen him like flashing the gun off to his friends, and I guess he was doing it in class. Like I think that's what I heard. Like they were in some science class and he was doing it in there. I'm like, that is the dumbest thing ever. Because if the teacher would have seen that, then yeah, like you come on, bro. Like, I don't know. Me, if I was going to do something like that, I'd do it at lunch. And it has to be, like, with some friends. Or we got to be in, like, a area and stuff where ain't nobody going to see us and things. But, yeah, I think they say he was, like, in the middle of class showing off the gun and things. And so this girl seen him and then ratted him out. And overall, he got, like, I think he got expelled from school, like, the whole school district. Or he might just got expelled from that school. I don't know. But anyways, the dumb part about it was that he got mad at the girl and I guess was like threatening her. So she ended up having to go to a different school. And I'm like, man, I don't know. That's some dumb stuff right there. Like, I didn't really know the girl. Yeah, that was about it. Like, I was friends with some of her friends and stuff. But yeah, we never had like a conversation ourselves. So that's where I'm like, that's some dumb stuff, bro. Like, I don't think I would. I don't think I overall like. I can't be mad at that person and things like they felt threatened. They didn't feel safe. So, but anyways, so the story goes on saying my younger brother is 16 and has a gun. All of his friends want to be gangsters and are bad kids in general. I live with him and my dad. I brought it up to my dad saying that one of his friends has a gun, but he did nothing and still lets that friend in our house. What should I do? Thank you for any response. So, tell him that your brother has a gun. Like, that's where it's like, you ain't trying to be a snitch, but also you don't want him to do something that's going to most likely put him in prison for a long time. So, yeah, that's why I'd be like, definitely tell the dad and stuff and see how that goes. But, yeah, I'm going to comment that because it needs to be said. Tell the dad and see how that goes. If it goes bad, it will. No. Tell the dad. See how that goes. It's better if he knew, so then he could do something, and overall he won't get in trouble in the future and won't be spending the rest of his life in prison. Yeah, because I'm like, no 16-year-old kid should be having no gun. Like, there's no reason, unless we're in a zombie apocalypse, that's the only reason why. But we're not in no zombie apocalypse, okay? We're in a coronavirus apocalypse. So, overall, there ain't no reason for him to have no gun. But, next one, my wife keeps pushing her agenda on our marriage. Today, she broke something within me. How do I help us? Okay. Let's go ahead and read this. I will probably sound like a bigot. I think that's that word. I don't know. But anyways, as my wife's agenda is heavily influenced by women power and gender roles, I have resented her interpretation of these for 2 years now, so I have a negative bias on them as well. I am desperate. Background: we are both rather liberal, but with conservative families. Both of our parents are religious, but her parents embrace a more conservative way of life. We married 3.5 years ago. We've been together for about 10 years. I work within the automobile industry and earn enough money for it not being a pressing issue. She owns a coaching business with at least 15 staff. Our first year of marriage was bumpy but rather enjoyable. Our next few years have been good, but there's this huge elephant on the room now, and the problem has grown quickly on the last 2 months. Y'all, I just want to just say, like, before I even read what's going on, I'm like, wow, y'all got some good jobs. You work for an automobile industry, and then she got a coaching company. Like, that's pretty dope. That's pretty dope. But first, let me take a water break. That's why I'm like, I need to be like a co-host or something, so I can be like, so I could take my water break and then they can read and stuff, and then they be like, oh, okay, you good? And I'm like, yeah, then I can continue on reading the story, but no, that'd be doing too much. So anyways, he says, the problem. My wife has always been humanitarian person. I think that's that word, I don't know. While I'm the number person. She helped me become a better person since the day we met. I stopped drinking heavily for no special reasons, got fit, and left video games. See, I don't know. I don't play video games on the regular, but that's something where I'm like, yo, like, at least let me have that. Like, at least let me have that one thing. Like, I promise I won't let it be, like, you know, a big issue in my life where I am. Like, I'll play, like, a reasonable amount of video games and will have, like, a, you know, more family time, but I don't think I'd be able to leave. That sounds like something that he just wanted to do. Like, you did that on your own, bruh. But anyways, then he says, honestly, she's the reason I landed the best engineering job of the decade. However, I am now unsure that her own personality changed. I am now unsure that her own personality changed at all during this. For the first 7 years over that, it started swiftly mutate after our wedding. She wanted to be different from the women of her family who all had children during the first year of marriage, which led to our decision to have children after 3 years of marriage, which was mutual for also reasons I had and things I wanted to accomplish. She also started to follow more feminist blogs and self-help videos. Soon this reflected into our relationship. She no longer wanted to share cooking duties, so I took those under my wing. Then she no longer wanted to scrub the toilet, so I did that too. Over the past 3 years, we have gone from an even 50-50 on our chores to an 80-20 heavily on my plate. I also noticed her sources for content become more radical, and recently she is even getting into what is this word? Something science, but in essential oils. That's a weird word. But anyways, I did complain, but I often kept calm by the talks we had. Yeah, I don't know. Like the self-help videos, I find myself watching those at times, you know, to just kind of like motivate me and things. But the feminist videos, see, here's the thing. I don't have problems with feminists, but they be like certain groups of people be expecting too much. That's why I'm like, I don't want to get heavily involved in a group, or like, you know, I don't mind like being friends with a person in a group, but like if you're gonna be around me, like all this like extra stuff that you gotta bring up in life, like yo, like that just gotta like that has to be thrown out the window. Like I can't be in a relationship with a girl, then she starts watching these feminist videos and she's like, oh, I don't need to do any of these things anymore, I'm a feminist now. And I'm like, look, I don't care what you watch, I don't care what you do, but I'm going to need help on some things. If you go half on stuff and then I take up the other half, that's perfect, that's fine. But I ain't gonna be no slave, okay? That's one thing for sure. That ain't gonna happen, okay? That ended a long time ago. So therefore I'm like, yeah, that's gonna have to stop. I'm like, I definitely had to, I don't know. I shouldn't have to like talk to a person about something like that. I feel like that's something that they should just notice. But I'm not gonna be doing something like that feminist stuff. It gets to a point where you're like, okay, I think y'all are being a little bit too serious about this. So, but anyways, he goes on to say, I've also noticed that many things she did during our relationship had a negative source. She often ghosted family gatherings at the in-laws by going to her old room because of one of the reasons: cramps, head hurt, etc. When the real reason was one of these: everyone was drunk, the men were talking about sports, and the women about children. You asked for a beer, and I felt like it was a command. Brother-in-law was making the barbecue at the grill that he doesn't own. It's apparently exclusive for her father to use, etc. Now we had the conversation about. I don't even know what that last part was all about. I mean, yeah, I don't even understand. Like, so she just overall doesn't like her family or something. Like, I don't know. It might mean something. It might mean something. So, anyways, he says, now we had the conversation about children. She wants none yet. Wants to wait 2 more years. Says she has the last call and that I should be okay with this. She wants to fulfill her business, which is now draining 10% of my income because it has failed to leave red numbers for the past 2 years. Wow. So then he says, I exploded. I called her out for not letting me get into the finances of her business or allow for any marital, I don't know. We're just gonna skip that word. For any criticism on how she handled said business. I also told her that I wanted to marry her so that we can build a home together and have children aside from the love I have for her. On top of that, I was tired of playing husband and wife while everything she does is to fix herself. Told her to stop her obsessive, egocentric way of life as she is subscribed to stupid fitness trends, top-notch skincare facilities, hair treatments, and spas. I confess I had not seen the extent of the damage or how far into the rabbit hole she has gone, as this was quite gradual, and COVID-19 quarantine is allowing me to stay home rather than be gone from 48 hours a week. See, I knew this quarantine stuff was going to have something to do with a relationship that I was going to read. Like, just every episode is just going to be a quarantine episode. Somebody talking about this virus and things. Like, I don't mind it, but I'm like, dang. That's why I'm like, this virus has, like, put on a damper on a lot of stuff. But then she says she just answered all of this by sternly saying that I should be happy with our lives and that single moms are expected to do way more than what I'm doing. She said he would not work on improving relationships. I think he meant to say she said she would not, because I'm like, what do you mean he? Like, who's this third? But I think he meant to say she, or he might have meant he. I don't know, but she says she's not working on improving relationships. Most of her family that she viewed as toxic. She would not allow me to go in between her self-care, and that she would eventually focus on our relationship once she felt she was on a good place. Now I'm stuck. This gives our relationship a negative outlook, and I want it to improve. I feel like I have to keep calm and voice everything, then see if she needs help on something not seen. Y'all need a marriage counselor. That's what I'm going to say. Y'all need a marriage counselor. Need a marriage counselor. I think that's how you spell counselor. It's not, no. Now I gotta search it up on YouTube, or not on YouTube, but Google. Because it's like, I hate when I try to, like, find the right word, and they know what I'm talking about, but they act like they don't know what I'm talking about, but they do know. Y'all need a marriage counselor, period. Comment, sin. That's what I'm gonna say. I just left it as that. I'm like, that's all that really needs to be said. But next one. Oh, wow, this is messed up. I found out my girlfriend telling other guys she's single. Oh, well, then let's see this one. Been dating on and off for over a year. Recently back together, now living together. After an argument, she went to stay at her mom's for the night. Due to a previous event in our relationship, I logged into her Instagram and looked at her messages. That's where roughly 3 guys she was talking to, all of which she said she was single or living alone. Not a single mention of me. Was I wrong to look, or how should I take it from here? Yeah, if you guys are on and off relationship, it's probably best if you guys might end the relationship. See, here's the thing. I know you guys are gonna probably laugh or think this is funny and stuff, but there's the one TV show called Jersey Shore. I'm pretty sure some of you guys might know of this show. If you don't, it was a reality. It was, yeah, it's, I think, yes, yeah, they came back like after 10 years or some stuff like that. But when the show originally came out, so there's this guy on there named Ronnie. I can't think the other girl's name was Angelina or some crap like that. I don't know. But anyways, on and off throughout the whole show. They were left and right, arguing, fighting. There's one episode where he took her bed and was like flipping it all over, throwing her stuff all over the place. Like, they had a pretty crazy relationship. Really crazy. And so, yeah, overall, it was an on and off situation. But how it ended, so after that, like, the show had ended. I don't even think them two ever did get back together. I think they broke up. I think they did, but then they ended up breaking up like when the show had ended. So Ronnie, he ended up marrying, I think, another woman, having a kid by her. But that I mean, like, based off of the show, it seemed like that ain't even going good either. I hope it's going good now. I haven't really been watching the show, but anyways, yeah. But moral of the story, it's probably best, like, in an on and off relationship, it needs to end. Like, I'm gonna comment that. It's best if the on and off relationship ends, but if you have strong feelings for her and you really love and care for her, try and work things out and see what the future holds for you two. I almost put like two, like me too and things, but nah, for you two. Like, I don't even know how I was like, and the thing is, I hope I ain't never made no mistake like that before, like talking about two people and then accidentally put like T-O or T-O-O, like, anyways, but oh, this one, I recently found out my husband has a child thanks to my wonderful mother-in-law. Wow. Dang. That is crazy. That's like this movie. There's this movie called Fences, and the guy, Denzel Washington and Viola Davis. In the movie, they were married, and then he ended up getting another girl pregnant, and then they just ended up just having a very, crazy, the movie ended up, well, I don't know, I wouldn't necessarily say it was sad, but due to the circumstances of the movie, it was pretty sad and stuff. So, but anyways, she goes on to say, I've been with my husband, quote unquote Alan, fake name, for 7 years now, married for 5 of them. We tried and tried and tried for a baby. After countless stillbirths and miscarriages, we have had to come to terms with the fact that we will not be biological parents. Man, that's messed up. That's really messed up. Like, I hear stuff like that, and I'm like, man, that's just sad. Like, if it's just like, you work on this and things. I don't know. Me, the thing is, I would try my hardest to, like, not give up, make sure, like, everything goes smoothly. Like, I want this to be, like, that's something I'm like, I wouldn't want to give up on it, but it's just like, days like after countless stillbirths and miscarriages and stuff, yeah, that's pretty sad, man. I don't know who this person is, but yeah, I hope and pray the best for you and stuff. But anyways, well, my wonderful mother-in-law is staying with us until everything returns to normal. She wasn't aware of my fertility status. After countless conversations of her nagging me to give her a grandbaby, I finally snapped and told her that she would not be getting one anytime soon. That night at dinner, she brought it up again and then proceeded to say, my husband, well, ex-girlfriend names gives you baby. Wait, what? Well, ex-girlfriend's name gave you baby M, didn't she? Maybe she would surrogate for you. Then she puts what? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like what? What is I anyways, moving on. Turns out my husband has a little almost 8-year-old child he doesn't visit and has no contact with. He has no intentions of being in M's life either. I've asked for as much space as possible, but I don't know what to do. Any advice? So, okay, 8 years, 7 years now. So I don't know. I'm trying to think, like, if he knew you and y'all started dating at the time, like, that is somewhere it's like, dang, like, but it had to been like prior before though. If he's 8 and then y'all was, so it was like, yeah, that next year and things. I don't know what the status was beforehand, but I don't know. Like, that's somewhere I'm like, if I found out that my girlfriend like had a kid and stuff, I definitely would be like, yo, so like, when was you gonna tell me about this? Like, I feel like you should at least see this kid, or like, don't do that to the child where he never knows, and then he ends up seeing you when you're like 70, 80 years old. Like, yeah, you should always be in a kid's life. Yeah, I'm gonna say that you should tell him he should always be in a kid's life, but still, for yourself, don't give up on having a family. If that's what you want, don't give up. That's more so what I care about. I'm like, yeah, it's like after that, thing in the beginning, I'm like, yeah, that's kind of sad. I'm like, don't give up on having a family. For anybody out there, y'all want a family and it's, been hard. This next one, I don't even know, but yeah, don't give up on stuff like that. Keep fighting for it and things. But anyways, guys said girlfriend wants to recreate the first time having sex. How is that even possible? That's something I don't want to like really give the entertainment to read, because I don't know, like, it gets I don't really care about a person's sex life and stuff, so I ain't trying to read into this and then y'all telling me like all the details. Like I said, it's like, yeah, I was like, I'm not, if I want to read about a person's sex life, I'll read that book 50 Shades of Grey and things. But anyways, I guess maybe that's some role playing stuff. She was like, she couldn't think of anything else, and she's probably like, you know what, let's just recreate this and things. So next one, socializing on the phone is tiring. Oh, because the whole quarantine. Give it some time, it'll be okay. Then this one says, oh, I wonder if they updated this. I need to open this up because it's still just not open. Okay, we're going to open that up, see if they came out with an update. There's that one where the guy, he was giving his roommate kisses and things, and she didn't know. Or he. Wait, that was a he? I thought that, I don't even know. Dang, was I reading that wrong the whole time? But did they come out with an update? I don't even know if they did or not. Kind of snowed under with comments and messages. Sorry, I'm getting back to everyone. Main thing I was answering, a lot of people is like sleeping pattern funky, feel the team head. Oh, that's not update I was really looking for. But anyways, then this one, it says time for divorce, ? So yeah, let's go ahead and read this. My husband and I have been married for 5 years, together for 8. We have 2 small children together, 4 and 1. We've had struggles in our relationship. Just after we married, we went out drinking and dancing with some of his work friends. I ended up getting pretty sauced and dancing too much. He got upset and left me there. His buddy got me a taxi home, and he was there and threatening to kill himself over my behavior. Wow. And then she's like, he took a gun out and everything. Yeah, that's... I don't know. I feel like he definitely, alcohol made him overreact. That was one thing for sure. Alcohol was in his system and it made him overreact. and stuff. So then, yeah, because I was like, if you sober acting like that, it's like, bro, it's not that serious. Just grab your girl and go home. But yeah, that's definitely a major overreaction and stuff. So then she says, I was able to get the gun away from him and ran across the street to a neighbor's house. We called the cops, but didn't mention the gun that my husband has. I felt that I needed to protect him. The next day, he insisted that I was dancing inappropriately with other people. I insisted I wasn't. I told him he threatened to kill himself with the gun. He denied that. Yeah, he was drunk. We didn't talk about it after that. I don't think we still have, but I think about it often. We've had several other disagreements that turned into arguments that led him to breaking things, punching holes in walls and doors, breaking doors down, breaking parts off the car, breaking his phone. He has no problem doing this in front of the kids. One argument was about safely installing the car seat in the older truck that he just got. He didn't do any research ahead of time, so I was doing all of after the fact. It was not equipped with latch and didn't even have the right seat belts. I told him we couldn't put the seats in there as is. He got upset, told me to pick the truck the next time. A little research showed that we could install the seats with some aftermarket parts, but that argument led him to screaming at me in front of the kids. I went into the bathroom to cry and escape. He broke the door down. It wasn't even locked. Of course, this argument was my fault. Huh. Then the next one, she was like, the most recent argument happened at Thanksgiving. His sister and my BFF were visiting from out of town. We went out to go get a treat and all came back hungry. His sister offered to make turkey sandwiches. She didn't want to make it in the way he wanted. Heat it up in the micro, not the oven. She sarcastically told him to make your own sandwich, and he sulked downstairs by himself for a long time. I went down there to ask him to come up. We were decorating the tree and having a good time. He was upset. His sister went down there to try to get him to come up, and that's when the arguing started. By the time I got down there, she was in tears saying he needs help. He was screaming and punching holes in the walls. We got upstairs with him, falling and punching holes in the stairwell. The kids were in the living room, so we went to our bedroom in the back of the house. We were trying to calm him down, but no matter what we said, he was getting more and more upset. And then he threatened to blow his brains out and grabbed the nightstand and started hitting himself in the head with it. It was traumatizing. His parents came over, no real help, and the cops came too. He lied to the cops. We didn't tell the cops about the gun again to protect them. His sister ended up leaving our house and went with his parents. Me and my friend were awake most of the night, worried that he could get a gun at any moment. Yeah, definitely go get that man some help. It's like this time he's sober. He didn't even have no alcohol in his system, and he's saying some stuff like that. Then he claimed that he didn't remember the first time. Most likely he did. Like, here's the thing. I've been drunk one time in my life, but I remember everything that had happened. I remember when I had the 3 drinks that I shouldn't have had. I remember I got up stumbling, went over to go shake my uncle's hand, and my uncle cracking up laughing at me because he realized I was drunk. I remember walking to my mom's car going back. I remember crossing the street to walk to my mom's car, seeing some people walking past me, and I remember I straightened my body posture and was just walking straight to not give them the illusion that I was drunk. But as soon as they went past me, I was wobbling and I was going back and forth. Then I remember being in my mom's car. She asked me a question. I gave her an answer. But overall, I was feeling sick. Because in my mind, I'm like, we are flying through space right now. Why is this car going so fast? It got to the point where I was like, and I remember thinking that too. I'm like, dang, can I just really walk home all the way from Tacoma to Federal Way? Because I live in Federal Way. So I remember that. I remember getting out of the car, wobbling all the way to the house, wobbling up the stairs, went to go lay down. Then I was, once I stopped doing that, went to the bathroom to go use it, fell to sleep on the toilet, went back in my room. I think I turned my Xbox on because I was going to play some video games. But then eventually I just laid down on the bed and passed out. woke up to a sudden urge of throwing up, ran all the way to the bathroom, didn't even make it to the toilet, ended up throwing up. I did eventually throw up in the toilet, but I threw up all on the counter, door, and everything else, and then my mom was yelling at me. I remembered that whole thing. The whole thing. So that's why I'm like, some people out there, when they do some crazy things, and then they're like, I don't remember, a high chance that they possibly could. But if they're blackout drunk, they probably not. But anyways, continuing on with what she said. After this incident, I took the girls to my mom's house and stayed there for about 3 weeks. I went to counseling. I suggested he do the same, but he doesn't believe in it. I asked him to get rid of the gun before we came home. He did. So it's been about 3 months since we've been home. We've gone for a few counseling sessions together, but I never fully told the counselor what happened. Just that I have issues trusting him over his past behavior. He told me that he wants to get the guns back and will be bringing them back soon. I told him no. He told me that I've been better about respecting him lately, so it shouldn't be a problem to have them here. I would consider him getting them back, but because of this statement, I now want a divorce. Yeah, that's a hard one. Cause I don't want nothing to really happen to you or the kids, so I don't want nothing to happen to you or the kids. So it's probably best that you tell the what is that word again? Because I don't know how to spell counselor. Counselor that he threatened to shoot himself and that he needs to work on that problem more than anything. Why does he want these guns back so badly? Do you guys live in a bad neighborhood? If not, then he shouldn't have to worry about guns. It's better to be safe than too late. Changing it up. I ain't gonna say sorry. But anyways, comment. Send. Next one. How do I convince my boyfriend that his game addiction is what's ruining his life? Oh. And it's the game that he is, it's a MMORPG. For those that don't know, if you don't know about video games, MMORPG video games are seriously the death of people. That people will play them games for hours and hours and hours. I remember when I played, what game was it? Oh man, what was that? What was the name of that game? I gotta look it up now because that's gonna haunt me. Was it World of Warcraft? I think it was World of Warcraft. Yeah, it was World of Warcraft. I played that game for the first time. I can see why a person would get caught up playing that game because the game, it is fun. It really is fun. I've actually been meaning to play it, but at the same time, I'm I don't want to get heavily addicted to this game and things. That's why I'm I'm going to stick to my regular games. If I ever do have free time or, I just don't want this game to be, this is the game that did it for me. This is the game that consumes hours out of my life and stuff. But, yeah, I've heard stories of people playing that game, and they have changed dramatically. I'll never forget. What was there's this one show on MTV. It was some court show, but it wasn't a serious court show. It was friends overall trying to prove the other friend wrong or right or something like that. So anyways, so they had the one guy on there, or there's these two guys. One of them was really addicted to World of Warcraft. So his friend was trying to tell him that, and he's all no, I'm not. I just, it's a fun game. Where he was trying to justify why he was playing that game. But yeah, he lost a lot of weight. I guess he would hit the gym and stuff. He went from Arnold Schwarzenegger to me. And if you watch my YouTube videos and see how skinny I am, then you understand whoa, that's kind of crazy. I don't think he got that small, but he overall was a bigger individual, but he did get dramatically small. So besides that, then he had left his house in a, like, I think they said months and things. I think he said, the one guy said he hadn't seen his friend since, like, it was maybe the beginning of the year. He said it was a while before the next time he's seen him and things. He said it was some months. Then he took like a picture of him the next time he seen him. He went over to his house. And yeah, there's like all these like water bottles like collected up on his table. And he just had this blanket in a dark room just sitting down playing World of Warcraft. That, I was like, I remember like hearing about that. I was like, that is the wildest thing ever. So if you do get into video games, don't start off with MMORPGs. Start off with something small and then work. Start off with like a family friendly game. You know, a game that you can play with other people and things. But then work your way up to other games. But yeah, it's people, I'm telling you, they get crazy with them games. But anyways, so she goes on to say he plays one single specific MMORPG all day, every day. It's probably World of Warcraft. It's been this way for the past 6 years. Wow. Oh. So it seems like there's a reason why it's been like this for the past 6 years. So she said 6 years ago, he fell off a balcony onto concrete and suffered permanent brain injury. He was told that he won't be able to work full-time ever again in his life, and he gets paid out the difference every month, which is what he lives off of. He's been playing this game for 6 years. He's very clearly depressed, and he's convinced he has no future. He does have a future, though. He may not be capable of all of that. He could have been otherwise, but he's still very capable. He's passionate about being a daycare teacher. He used to love to travel, both of which he's done after his accident. He can't get started on his life in any aspect because of this game. He denies that he's addicted. He claims he only plays because he has nothing else to do. This is a lie. We are in a long-distance relationship, and whenever we're together, he still plays several hours a day. Either when I'm asleep or even when we're hanging out or cooking, eating dinner. The game has a mobile game app now. Yippee, it is an addiction. Oh, maybe it's, what was that one other game? RuneScape. I think that's what it might be. Hold on, because either they got World of Warcraft or it's RuneScape. It might be RuneScape, because that's like, I have to say, that's like the second big game. World of Warcraft. Oh, it's like a companion app. But no, then alright, so then it must be RuneScape. Yep, old school RuneScape. I should download this game. I ain't never played RuneScape before. I should Oh no, they got spiders and stuff. Oh no, I will not play that game. I don't like games like that. I don't like games they got like bugs and stuff in it. So, anyways, then she says I've listed off to him many times some healthier activities he could do to fill up his time with something other than his video games. These go anywhere from taking walks to meeting up with family to going out with friends to volunteering to getting a hobby. Even going out to play Pokemon Go is healthier than this. How do I convince him that his life won't improve until he quits the cursed game or at the very least limits himself? I feel like I'm helpless in this. Thank you for the advice, who replied. Thank you in advance, whoever replies with the advice. Edit, I've been with them for only about 2 years. Sorry for the confusion. He was in a much better state 2 years ago. Oh. Oh, okay. So, okay. So, so I now understand. I thought they were together for 6 years. But no, he had this injury like this. He's just been heavily addicted to this game for 6 years, but you started dating him 2 years ago. Huh. He's probably all like, yeah, he was probably like, that's the one and only time he needed to go out. He was like to get himself a girlfriend and things, and that was about it. But yeah, I don't know. Sit down and have an intervention with him. That's what I'm gonna say. Sit down and have an intervention with him and see how that goes. Get emotional if you need to, but let him know how you feel. She probably already has, but I'm just saying that just in case. But anyways, I was getting ready to read this next one. I was like, switch to Google feed a plan. I'm like, what are they talking about? But it's a promoted thing that they're talking about. So, anyways, wife feels better after tearing me down. Is this normal? No, it's not normal. Definitely, yeah. I definitely would like be like, hey, like that's not cool. You gotta bring me down and stuff, and just so you can feel better about yourself. That ain't cool. Yeah, definitely seek out some counseling on that. Yeah, that ain't cool. Then the pre-gaming before sex. That what? Oh, it's like okay. So he's saying that his girlfriend like they warm up or she warms up before. I thought like I don't know why. I thought because I still was like on the gaming part where the guy was like addicted to video games. And I'm like, so wait a minute, she plays video games before you guys have sex? Like that's a thing? Like I don't know. I was really curious about that. I'm like, no, now I gotta like I need to see about that. Like that, huh? I'm like, that's crazy. But anyways, no, that's I ain't gonna read that. I don't really care about people's sex lives and stuff. But anyways, my sister has cut me off because my boyfriend proposed to me at her wedding. Oh, yeah. I kind of her sister wanted to have her moment. Your boyfriend ruined it and things. So yeah, let's go ahead and read this. So I know the title. I know how the title sounds, but I'll start out by saying I said no and I didn't want this. Oh wow. I think it's insanely tacky and disrespectful to do that at someone's wedding. Throw away because the people involved will instantly know who I am and I don't need them knowing my main account. That's not tacky to propose to a person that they're. You hear when people they get married like at the same wedding and things, but that ain't tacky. Honestly, like you know what? No, if I was a girl, like here's the thing. There's so many places where a marriage proposal can go down. There's people who have proposed to people inside of malls. They've proposed to people. The one wrestler, John Cena, I kid you guys not. This was some real stuff. This wasn't no wrestling thing. This was a real situation. So the wrestler, John Cena, was dating this wrestler named Nikki Bella. So at WrestleMania, he proposed to her in the middle of the ring. I think they had like a match or something like that. And she started celebrating. He got behind her, said all these things. He proposed to her at WrestleMania. Okay? So she's in front. And may I remind you guys, WrestleMania is like the Super Bowl of wrestling. It's the biggest event of wrestling. I tell you guys right now, I think the biggest number of people that have ever been there is like, I think it was like 80,000 people. So there's thousands of people that's surrounding them watching this. Okay? Watching them do this. And, yeah, I'm like, if she would have said no, that would have been the craziest thing ever. But then it's like, you had a wrestling show. It's like, you can't say no and things. But overall, getting back to this, that ain't tacky. Proposals be happening everywhere. There are probably proposals that be happening right here in a person's house. They don't be doing anything special. They just all like, nah, I'm just going to wait till she wake up and propose to her and things. So yeah, and I'm like, it ain't tacky. That's not tacky at all. So then she says, so my sister called me about a month before her wedding, distraught, telling me that my boyfriend had spoke to her fiance about how he planned to propose to me at the reception for their wedding, but wanted to give him a heads up that it would be happening. Her fiance obviously not to do that, and then later told my sister about the conversation. So sister decided to scream and cry to me about it on the phone and told me that if I didn't stop him from doing it, she would never speak to me again, which I thought was harsh because I can't control him. I told her I would speak to him about it though, and hopefully he'd listen to that. Why is it? Look, okay, I don't know. If my sister was dating, if I was getting married, my sister was dating somebody, her boyfriend came up to me and was all like, hey, can I propose to your sister at her wedding? I'm like, as long as it ain't during like the marriage ceremony part where like, we're standing in front of the pastor, then you're all like, wait, I got some words, hey, Tyler's sister, can you, because I don't want to say my sister's name. I don't know if I ever did say my sister's name before on here, but anyways, I'm just, for protection reasons. But yeah, if the pastor is like marrying us and things, like we both up there getting married, then he's like, wait, I got some words. Tyler's sister, would you marry me? That's when I'll be like, nah, wait until after when we're like dancing and all that stuff. Then I'm like, other than, because no, I would even help him out. I would even help him out and set it up for him. I'm like, other than me having an announcement, somebody in this room has an announcement. Then I'm like, take it away. Throw the mic at him like a football and then just let him do his thing. But I won't be mad at him. I'm not going to tell him not to do that and things. Like, me and my wife, we're overall going to have our day, but I'm not going to kill somebody's special moment and things. So yeah, that's a weird thing that's going on there. Like, you think it's tacky to propose, she's crying her eyes out. I'm like, what is going on here? But I had several long conversations about my boyfriend who was at first flat out denying he ever planned on doing that, or that the conversation with sister fiance ever took place. Apparently, because he wanted to do he wanted this proposal to be a surprise. Well, yeah, of course he's gonna deny it. Like, you get a Christmas present for somebody and they guess the Christmas present, you ain't gonna tell them like, no, it's a surprise. Like, you gotta wait until Christmas and things. But anyways, then he said he floated the idea by soon to be brother-in-law, then changed his mind. So I said, great, we're on the same page. It's not that I don't want to be engaged to you. The wedding reception is just not the right time to do it. That's alright. Well, anyways, fast forward to the wedding, which was the 7th of March, literally days before everything in our area started locking down due to recent events. It wasn't during the time we were all told to lock down. Anyways, the ceremony went great and the reception was going well. At some point during the night, I went outside to get some fresh air. My boyfriend followed me out. Well, in not his brightest of moments, he decided to propose to me. Wow. That's something where I'm like, I don't even know. Like, I'd be kind of like sad and things and heartbroken. Like, I'm trying to have a special moment here, but then you're just shooting it down. Like, I don't know. This is where I'm like kind of curious on what other people have to think about this, because I'm like, that's messed up. But anyways, then she goes on to say, I immediately shut him down as soon as he went on one knee. Unfortunately, one of our aunts happened to be outside as well and saw him. She came over and squealing and congratulating us as I tried to tell her we're not engaged. But she basically said there's no use in hiding it when she's seen it. She went inside and started telling people that we gotten engaged in the garden. Why, like, that's like some movie type stuff. Like, I'd be like, I'm like, well, yeah. I don't know. If that was like me and I was like, yeah, the aunt's like, I'm trying to explain to her. I'm like, no, we're not. And I'm like, I've been screaming it to the top of my lungs and stuff. But still, though, I'm like, I don't think I could have did that to somebody and things. Like, if I don't know, because you see when like girls propose to guys and stuff. Like, I don't know, if a girl proposed to me, I'd be like, dang, she really loves me. I'm like, usually it's the other way around, but I mean, I'm like, yeah, sure, but yeah, I'm like, that's pretty messed up. I kind of feel sorry for the guy. Like, he had this special moment built up in his head, and then it just automatically gets shut down and things. So, anyways, while she's doing that, boyfriend and I are having an argument outside still, when my sister came charging out, screaming bloody murder. How could I do this to her? She never wants to see me again. Leave her effing wedding, and slapping at the both of us physically, or slapping at hysterically. I had like the cursor thing over the word or over the letter, so I didn't really see it. I was like, dang. But anyways, while I tried to tell her, I told him, no, we're not getting married. I'm sorry this happened. Well, basically, her new husband had to come out and tear her away from us because she kept hitting us. She's tiny. We weren't hurt. It was flailing hits, and other family members just telling us we need to leave, so we did. We went home. I slept on the couch because I didn't want to be near him. Next day, there was a million angry messages and voicemails from my sister and other family members calling me horrible names and how could I ruin her day. How is this ruined? Oh my, this is crazy. Like, now I'm curious, like, I don't know, something like that I wouldn't even really care about. Like, I'll be congratulating them and things. That's some crazy stuff. That is some serious crazy stuff, man. So, I tried, or she was like, ruin their day, and then she was like, I tried reaching out to some to say what really happened, but few were willing to listen, so I decided not to reach out to anyone for a while. Boyfriend and I fought all weekend. I was talking about breaking up because he was he so bluntly disregarded me asking him not to propose there, and him saying he thought it would be fine as long as we weren't in the reception hall taking attention away from the bride and groom. And we went to do and wanted to do it while we were dressed fancy, and then lockdown happened. We lived together. I'm working from home and his job is currently suspended, so we've been stuck together for 3 weeks now at home, and honestly, it's helped us. I'm still mad at the stunt he pulled, but he spent the last 3 weeks going and gathering what we need, cleaning everything down, making breakfast, lunch, and dinner, bringing me drinks and snacks throughout the day, bringing in the mail, sanitizing everything. I get off my computer and he goes in to clean it. We've also just talked about a lot of things in further depth that we ever really have. And it's really making me want to stay with him. He did something stupid, and I hate that he didn't listen to me. But he has apologized, and he has been doing everything to be supportive partner during the whole mess. He reached out to some of my family members apologizing and take the blame. I don't even know, man. Like, I probably would, because if that would have happened to me, I probably would apologize and stuff, but I still would be like, nah, like, how are you guys gonna get mad at me because I just want to have like one special moment? Just one special moment in my life. Like me, I'm gonna say this right now. I ain't never really had like a whole lot of special moments, but I feel like this particular special moment, okay? Like, I don't know. Maybe if it was like, yeah, if I had seen like how upset she was, in talking about the sister, if I seen how upset the sister was, then I probably would have just, I don't know, faked it, like going be all like, oh, the car is breaking down, then she gets out and things, and then I'm like around the car, like asking her, like, then like, will you marry me and stuff. Like me, I'll get creative if I need to. I'll like do some stunts and things, some Tom Cruise stunts for my proposal and stuff, but. Anyways, yeah, I guess it's, it is kind of his fault. Like, they told him not to do it, but he did it anyways. But, yeah. But he didn't really know. Like, if y'all are going outside, he's probably thinking, like, oh, okay, like, then that's perfect. I'll just do it outside the reception and stuff. But, yeah, that's messed up, man. I honestly feel sorry for the dude, though. Like, I don't think that he should be taking all that in and stuff. But now the part I need help with is my sister decided to finally reach out to me this weekend. She had time to calm down, and she asked what I'm going to be doing about boyfriend. I apologized again and said I was going to break up with him, but in the last few weeks of lockdown, we've really fixed a lot of things in our relationship, and I think he genuinely regrets what happened. I wouldn't have regret what I did. If I wanted to propose to you right then and there, then that's what I wanted to do. But if everybody's going to be snapping at me and getting mad and things, then I ain't going to really be regretful. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't really be regretful. That's just me as a person and things. So, and she lost it on me saying I'm picking him over her. Man, this is like some reality TV show, bruh. Like, it's kind of like hard to read because it's just how everybody is overreacting and stuff. But she was willing to give me another chance after she thought about the fact I can't control him and didn't want him to do that in the first place. She's now giving me the ultimatum. I either break up with him when this whole thing is over, or she's forever cutting me out of her life. I tried to talk to our parents about this, but they said it's in her right to decide that, and my right to stay with him. They're not cutting me off, but they don't want my boyfriend coming around anymore. I broke down over the whole thing, and my boyfriend says he will understand and will leave the decision up to me. But that almost makes it worse. He's been understanding, remorseful, helpful, and just a good guy. He's not trying to convince me to stay with him, saying he understands he effed up and put me in this decision. He wouldn't blame me for ending things. He wants to be together, but he's not going to try to sway me by begging. I'm mad he puts me in this position at all, but I don't want to lose him or my sister. I don't know what to do anymore. I feel like the end of lockdown is just looming over my head as the deadline. I'm going to lose one of them, and I'm not ready. Any advice is appreciated. Well, first off, your family, your sister overreacted. Not to talk bad about your sister, but she got a little bit dramatic on this situation. Now, I understand that it was her day and she should be the only one experiencing a good time, but your boyfriend wanted to do something special. Getting mad at him might have been a little bit too much. The man probably hasn't had a whole lot of special moments in his life, so he wanted to have this one thing. It might have not been the perfect timing, but he wanted this moment. I feel like there's more I need to say. There's definitely more than that I need to say. Your sister is not going to cut you off. My own sister said she was going to cut me off for a personal issue, and we are still cool today. Family will always be family, and she needs to understand that. He was not trying to hurt her. Having her choose between you and having her choose between the boyfriend and her is not fair at all. It's like, if you really love and care for this guy, you won't break up with him. It's like, if you, I don't know, because some people, see, that's the thing, some people are like family first, like any outsiders is not welcome. Like, if you have that mentality in a relationship, then none of your relationships is going to last. I'm sorry, but I've heard people tell me that, and I'm like, that's not, I don't know how that's going to work out, but yeah, sure, whatever. But anyways, it's like, you won't break up with him. I feel like there's more that I need to say. It's like, if he apologizes to the family, including your sister, she needs to forgive him and forget that it happened. Her marriage didn't get ruined, and her wedding didn't get ruined either. Like I said, she's being dramatic. No, there has to be more I have to say. Marriage didn't get ruined, her wedding didn't get ruined. Like I said, she's being dramatic. Give it some time and see how things go, but don't do that to the man. Don't end things because of what your sister said. This is your life. Do what you want to do with it. Comments. I'm gonna save that because if I come back and that she's all like I broke up with him, that would be the most messed up thing ever. I'm like that. Like sit down and think about that. You propose because no, like I'm a little salty about this situation. It wasn't like I ruined the woman's marriage. It ain't like she got filed for a divorce and get married all over again because I proposed to the girl that I was like, I just thought she would say yes at the moment and things. I just never realized that that's something that people overall, I gotta read the comments. I seriously gotta read the comments and things and see what other people are saying. So one guy said, you had several conversations with them, thought you were on the same page, and he did anyways. That's concerning. Why is, oh my God, like people are really, I mean, I don't even think like, okay, yeah, like I'll admit, like, you know, he did have a conversation about it and stuff. Overall, he didn't listen and things. That's what I'm saying. Maybe if he had waited, then okay, but it's like he thought that it would have been perfect, like y'all are outside, so you guys ain't even gotta worry about nothing. And it's like for you to say no, like you could have just been like can we do this later? Like I just feel like flat out telling the man no and things. That's like really hurtful to a person, you know, because y'all think that the relationship's going good, and then something like that happens. Like yeah, that's overall messed up. So then it was like OP. Then somebody said OP either wasn't clear about not wanting the proposal to happen at the wedding, or the boyfriend is a complete effing idiot. Wow. I get, so there's like somebody said I get more of a bully vibe from the BF, which could be why the OP giving a lot of shrug responses to her family. Even though OP acts like she is putting her foot down, you could tell there is a lot of second guessing rational happening. It's pretty typical pattern for abusers to do something anyways because they want to, then be on good behavior after, kind of like act now, beg for forgiveness later entitled attitude. But he ain't even begging. Why everybody getting mad at this guy? Like, man, I don't know. Maybe I should be getting mad at him because I'm like, why is everybody getting mad at the guy? Like, he just thought that would be the okay time. Like, I don't know. I ain't never proposed to a girl before, so but yeah, like, it's just. So there's all like, wow, then somebody was like, so everybody told him it was a bad idea and poor taste and he did anyways. Is that the first time he's done that? If it's a pattern, I'd leave. Wow. Then somebody, it's definitely a pattern. LW's angry that he did it, but not shocked. No normal person would be flabbergasted at this. Also, look at the first interaction with the sister. Firstly, when the sister hears so BF say he wanted to propose, but I told him no, that was a terrible idea. Oh, so he's just reading that. What's her response? If boyfriend was a normal person, she respond with, lol, what dingus thinks that's a good idea? Well, at least he checked. Why is it a bad idea, though? Like I said, I wouldn't care. If my sister, if her boyfriend contacted me and was like, oh, can I propose to your sister at your guys' wedding? I'm like, as long as you don't do it during the ceremony part, you can do it. You can do it beforehand. You can do it afterwards. I don't care. As long as the ceremony does not get ruined, okay? If you get up in the middle of the ceremony and do it, then I'm going to be looking at you like, bro, you couldn't have waited until a perfect time to do that. But beforehand and after, like, it's not a bad time. It is really just, it's not a bad time. Like, I don't even understand this type of behavior, but, and consider the matter resolved. Instead, she calls the sister frantically, telling her again and again that no, absolutely not, no way. She's not kidding, don't you dare. That's not how you respond unless the BF has a serious history of doing stuff like that. Then, she acts like she's dating the rum tum tugger instead of a human adult. What's a rum tum tugger? I don't even know. As much as I want to sympathize with the OP over the dramatic portrayal of the sister, it does seem like the drama was more related to the last straw for pattern behavior and the OP saying she can't control the boyfriend. What I think of, I mean, I wonder if the sister has kind of a permanent stuck with her, the shrug. I don't even know. Like, okay, I don't even know. Like, what could the be like? What is the? See, that's why I'm like, we need to know like more details about the guy now. Because now I'm like kind of confused. Like, everybody is jumping on this dude and stuff. So, Yeah. I'm curious on what I'm saving it, to see in things what goes down. But hey, I went past an hour. Dope, nice. That's what I've been wanting to do. Yeah, now I've won the own game I've been playing with myself. Gone past an hour and things, but anyways, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. Like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. If you're viewing this on YouTube, make sure you follow or subscribe if you're viewing this on a podcast streaming service. And if you're purchasing tickets from SeatGeek, make sure you use my promo code TMossBoss. It will knock $20 off your first purchase. So, that being said, talk to you guys later. Thank you for watching and or listening, and peace.